How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Unfortunately, with the engulfing candlestick printing yesterday, even after a bullish announcement the prior day, ETH has now made a new lower low. And that is totally negative, guys. So I have to quickly adjust to the new low, the new Fibonacci's, and this makes that area that much bigger. So 3.5 to 3.78 remains the level ETH must break in order to flip bullish. That is crazy. If you don't believe me, let's go to Bitcoin. I have been showing examples in all of my video updates, but there's going to be people new here, so I have to go over it, and it's just good to remind ourselves anyways. As you can see over here, let's redo all these fibs. So we had a move down, and when it started pumping again, it almost got a new all-time high. Now breaking the all-time high, we would have seen these levels, but there's a precursor level. If you can break that 886, then it's more than likely going to hit these targets. That's where the reversal wave is essentially created. That's when these targets become valid on the break of the 886. And by failing, you can see what happens. A new lower low forms, so we can go off of that new lower low. And when the market recovered, so we had a local bottom after forming the new low, and then had a move back up that could not break the 886, which then resulted in the loss of the low, a new lower low once again. So you're seeing the trend. I'm not saying we're going to go through a consolidation like this. I'm just showing you multiple instances where you have a completed dump, which took, about a month to fall. And after a month of dumping, we go up. You see Bitcoin goes up for almost another month. So a lot of days pass while the market is bullish. But ultimately, if it doesn't break out of there, you can see a new low low forms. One day that trend will break. And it could happen on the very first time. Here it just had to happen 3 times or so. On the 4th attempt, you can see that 886 actually broke, and then reversal wave was created and the target's getting met. So it's the same scenario for ETH. If it's failing to break this, it could even head down to a new lower low. Now, what does this actually mean? Because realistically, that actually means that it doesn't even need to get up that high in order to go to a new lower low. It's bearish while underneath that, so it could pump as high as up there and still roll over into a new low, but it doesn't even need to get up there. That's what we have to understand from this. So anytime we see a lower high, it fails to recover a key level, then it's going to roll over, and that's what ultimately happened down over here. Some moving averages were getting reclaimed. At the time, we can see that there was more bearish crosses forming above and all underneath this neckline of the head and shoulders pattern. So even if the moving averages were reclaimed, it's still not good enough. I'd like these horizontal levels reclaimed, 3.1, 3.2, and this also. So we can see a very hard task. And even if this is all recovered, still have to deal with that up there, as we've just gone through those Bitcoin updates to show you those previous examples. So a lot of work that it needs to do. Every time we go lower, it's worse position, meaning that there's another resistance in the way, making it even harder to get back up to where it needs to, and a lot easier for it to fail if we keep increasing the amount of hurdles that needs to break. So the ultimate trend is down. We've seen a lower low today. That's the level it needs to break, 3.5 to 3.8. It must now recover 2.12 today, so we need to see this recovery today. And if it at least closes above 2.07, that's a great start, but the next following day would need to recover 2.1. So by the end of the week, it needs to stay above this level. That doesn't really mean much since it's under all of the key levels of resistance. And what I was saying with this move up, if you remember from my updates, I was making them daily. I said even if ETH, and this was even before hearing about a strategic reserve, I was saying from this week, ETH must bounce. However, the bounce is most likely going to fail before breaking this. It needs to break through 2.7 and 2.8. And in the end, it didn't even get close, guys. It got to 2.5, the previous support, just into resistance and rolled over. This is exactly what I've been saying in every single update. So guys, if you appreciate all the work and just letting you know instead of keeping you blindly bullish when it just isn't, giving you the truth as it is. Many don't want to hear it, but it's just as it is, because it's just TA without emotions. Then support the channel, like, subscribe, comment, and share if you can. We're trying to hit 10k as quick as possible. I think we need just over 700 followers, so getting there. Exciting times. And I will continue to bring out these updates daily, but unfortunately we're not getting those characteristic changes that are needed, such as reclaiming this lost support, and it's just been confirmed as resistance, but that needs reclaiming, and then taking out this level. You can see by that point the moving averages would be support, as they'd flip over, but unfortunately we're not seeing those characteristic changes. So while underneath all these moving averages and 3.5, 3.7, I believe if we even see a move up now, just like last time, it should be beneath 2.5k. Let's check how which Fibonacci came into the 618. So where would that be this time? Around 2.35. So 2,350. The top of this box is the new resistance. I'll just draw there, turn it red. But that's what it needs to recover. That's still not good enough. It needs to take out the last high, but this is probably where it will get rejected. We see support in the past, so a move back up into it should just be seen as confirming that as resistance. And then you're validating this macro double top here by losing this key level of support even today. But we do need to see a close underneath 2.12. But just understand, even if we get a bounce, doesn't mean that we're in the clear. It can still roll over back down and can pump up to there and still go to the new lows. It could go up to there and still go to new lows. As I showed you in those Bitcoin examples, you could pump to the 886 and still head over to new lows. So that also means that it doesn't even need to climb up there to continue the downtrend. So just nothing is in our favor at the moment for ETH, but that also means altcoins, especially as they're like leveraged versions of ETH, since ETH is meant to be the king of alts, but has only been trending down since the bear market against Bitcoin, showing that potentially the truth is that beyond the first ever bull market that a coin experiences, the first ever bull market top, once it's gone into the bear market and into the future bull cycle, we can see that ultimately it's rolled over all the way since 2021. So Bitcoin's just been a better option, it's suggesting. And if that's meant to be the king of altcoins, Ethereum, then what does that mean for altcoins as a whole? That could mean that long term they're just trending down against Bitcoin. But in their first cycle, that would be the first explosive. And we're kind of seeing this with Solana BTC right now. Also in its first cycle, it was its best. And now it's at least starting a movement back down where it looks like ETH. It might not necessarily continue to follow something like that. This is just something that I've been playing around with. But we can see that is what happened with Ethereum. So it could be following something similar. That is it from me today for ETH. Check out the other updates on the channel. So many levels in the way, but ultimately now forming this large macro double top up here. And all that needs to really happen is this area to be confirmed as resistance. That could even happen with a move back up into there, followed by continuation lower. That would be showing that we lost it down over here, just come back up to retest it before continuation lower. That would be absolutely terrible, guys. That means we've wasted a whole year that means we've wasted a whole year pretty much just to go lower. So everyone's been trapped into thinking ETH is lagged and it will eventually pump, and now we're losing the lows. So you better start hoping this is a deviation that recovers all these key levels and heads to a new all-time high. I really only believe altcoins are safe once they're above 3.7k, and that's so far away. Need another 1.7k, need a whole another double almost for this market for altcoins to be considered safe investments again. But nothing is safe, obviously. That's it from me today. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you want to get educated to identify these things, like myself. Well over a month ago, back in January, I was telling you guys on a daily basis the warning signs that under this key area, we're bearish, and any move back up, especially after that capitulation day, I said even if we get up into there, we're going to fill in the wick eventually. It's all come true, and now we're validating this macro double top if we're not seeing this sort of recovery. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.